So usually when I do my eyeshadow looks, I tend to use at least 2 eyeshadow palettes, but today I'm going to be doing a kind of silver or gray look, and I'm only going to be using 1 eyeshadow palette, and that's the Morphe and Jacklyn Hill palette. It's called Dark Magic. This is what it looks like. So I'm kind of really feeling this color right here. So I'm thinking of doing a look with it today. So to start off, I'm going to be priming my lids, and I use Lancome's concealer. It's in the shade 435. So once I get it on, I'm going to use my foundation brush that I got from Target, and I'm going to blend it all out. So to blend out your concealer on your lids, I would suggest using a smaller brush because this makes a mess, but I'm so used to using this big brush that changing it will be kind of weird for me. So okay. So I already primed my face for foundation, and I used the Too Faced Do You in the shade Radiant Nude. I do it before I start my makeup because I always forget to put primer on before doing my foundation. So yeah, that's my trick. And next I'm going to line my waterline using a matte pencil liner. So I'm just gonna go in right here. Oh. So that's what I look like. So for this look, I'm gonna be using about 4 brushes to get this. And to start off, I'm gonna be using the shade Potion. It's this color right down here. And I'm gonna use this sort of fluffy brush. So that's kind of what it looks like. So I'm working up right at the top right here with that shade. So you can kind of see it's sort of like a greenish color, like a cameo type color. So I'm gonna do the same thing on my right. I really like this color. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So the next shade I'm gonna use, I'm using a Morphe M530 573 brush for this, and I'm gonna use Inside Job. And I'm gonna go over it like so. Oh yes, right there. So you can kind of see the difference between Potion and Inside Job. Like Inside Job's a little bit darker green. So I think I want to add a little bit more Potion up on my crease up here. So just lightly. I hold the brush, like you don't want to press it too much. Just kind of hold it lightly and just go back and forth. So I say that part is good. So now I'm gonna cut the crease. And to do that, I usually use my e.l.f. concealer, if I can find it. Oh, here it is. So it's in the shade medium. And I use just a regular brush for this part. So I take an amount, and what I do is I spread it all over. So my brush kind of looks like this. Now what I'm gonna do is the eye that I'm gonna be cutting the crease on, I close it and I just kind of work it at an angle. And try to use like the shape of my eyelid to actually cut the crease. Okay. So I say this looks good. Oh, I kind of messed up right here, so I'll clean that off. But yeah, this is what it looks like. And using a different brush, I'm gonna go in with the shade Temptress right there. And I'm gonna go to the end of it and pat it down. Like so. Looks good. And using a sort of flat brush. This one is an Ulta Beauty eyeshadow brush. So I'm gonna go in with Power Cut, which is like the color I really wanna rock today. So I'm gonna take some right here and go to the front where I cut that crease. And you wanna go along the same line that you cut your crease and just sort of pat it on. Ooh, yes, I really love this look. And you can add more colors as you need based on like your personal preference. So just go back and add a little bit more of that darker shade right here. So I did my liner and mascara. I used the BH Cosmetics liquid eyeliner. This is kind of what it looks like. And I used the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So I already put my orange color corrector on my face. So it's to kind of help with the dark spots I have. And using a Sephora foundation brush, I'm gonna blend everything out. Looks so orange. Okay, so once that's done, using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Glow in the shade Patina, I usually put it in like the 4 different quadrants of my face. And I'm going to be using my Too Faced foundation. It's the Born This Way collection, and it's in the shade Hazelnut. This is my winter shade. So I'm going to use my Sephora foundation brush, and I'm going to get some of that foundation on here. So, and I'll get it all on my face right there. It's so cold. So when I put my foundation on, I do like 2 different steps. First I use my foundation brush to get it on my face and my neck. And then I use a damp beauty blender. So I picked up a pack of 10 of them from Marshall's for $9.99. So it's cheaper than getting it from like Ulta or Sephora, because it's the same thing for me. I don't really care about the beauty blender, that particular brand. I just need an actual beauty blender. That's all I care about. Make sure you get it all on your face, because you don't want part of your face to be like a different color, so it's gonna be kind of awkward, because it's happened to me before. So I already have my damp beauty blender, and I just blend it. So I usually check to make sure everything like blended all out, and if it's not, I just keep doing it until I feel like it's ready. Okay, so it's all blended out. Oh, I got some of this eyeshadow right here. So I'm going to highlight my face. And to do that, I'm going to be using LA Girl concealer. And I'm using the shade Fawn. That's what it looks like. So when I highlight, I put a little bit. I don't put too much, because when you blend it, it's like gonna get all over. And unless you want your face to be super highlighted, I just use a small amount, like this much. So I do the same thing on the left side. And I highlight right down here on my chin. I don't highlight or contour my nose because I suck at it. So I don't even waste my time, because it's gonna come out ugly anyway. And for my forehead, now I have a big forehead, so I don't want it to be too highlighted. So I do like a little semicircle right here. That amount is definitely gonna be more than enough for me. So I take a different damp beauty blender. It's very important that it's damp, because if it's dry, it's not gonna be good. So you blend it. And I do the same thing here. And now for my forehead. Oh, perfect. It's like barely there. So I'm gonna contour my cheeks, and I'll be using the Juvia's Place concealer in the shade 4. And I make this face like it shows you where you're supposed to apply it. And on my forehead, right in here, right there. So that's what it should look like. So using the same damp beauty blender I used for the highlight, I'll use it and I blend it all out. Okay, so now I'm gonna set where I put the Fawn shade concealer for the highlight, and I'm gonna be using, it's by Black Radiance, their setting powder, and it's in the shade Banana. So what I do is I let it set for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I just put a light amount because I don't want it to be too highlighted, and I don't want it to like over bake, because I want it to be highlighted but not over highlighted. For me, it would just look awkward. So I just take a little bit and I just go over where I highlighted. Like this. So while I'm having the highlight bake, I'm gonna set my contour. And I actually use an eyeshadow palette, the Warriors 2 by Juvia's Place. And where's my powder brush? No, that's not it. So I'll use an e.l.f. powder brush. This was, I think, $2 or $3 from Target. And I use this middle top shade right here. In making the same face I made earlier, I'm gonna go over where I put the contour. Shadow palette, and using the color Temptress, I'm gonna go under with my waterline and add a little bit of color. So I wanna make it look a little bit dark. Right there. So for my blush, I'm gonna be using an eyeshadow palette, The Festival by Juvia's Place. And as soon as I find my blush brush, there it is. So I'm using an Ulta Beauty blush brush, and I'm gonna be using this red color. So when you do your blush, you're supposed to like smile, but I usually just go like this. Just like that. Now to highlight my face, I'll be using the Saharan Blush Volume 1 by Juvia's Place. And I have my e.l.f. blending brush that I use to highlight my nose, my brows, and the top of my lip. So I'm gonna be using this color right here. So you want to lightly highlight your nose. Sometimes I accidentally overdo it. Oh. Guess that's fine. And my brow. So using my Morphe fan brush, it's M143. I use that same blush that I just used to highlight, and I'll highlight my cheeks and my chin. Yes. So when I highlight, I just kind of do like this. Not bad. So for lipstick, I'm gonna be wearing the Too Faced Melted Matte Metallic, I guess. So the color is called Scream My Name. So let me just go ahead and add some on my lips. To add lip gloss, or to not add lip gloss. So this is a matte lipstick. I love their lipsticks. Like, I pretty much only buy my lipsticks from Too Faced. So that's what it looks like. And to set all this makeup, I'm gonna be using my Morphe setting spray. It's like my ultimate favorite. I always buy like 2 or 3 at a time. Okay, so this is the final look. I just put my setting spray and I fanned it off camera. And this is like my contour, my highlight, and my lipstick, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.